Good morning, y'all. It's Smitty. Life is so funny because a few days ago I recorded an hour-long video where I was about to kill myself and I was brandishing a knife because I was losing my mind off of 10 milligrams of Adderall. If you're wondering, I'm fine. Don't worry, nothing happened. My bed has a few stab marks, but it's like, who gives a fuck? There's much worse things on this bed. I see a French fry on my bed. I don't know where I got that from. But don't worry, and then a few days later, you can just have one of the best nights of your life that will become a core memory that you brag about for years. So, let's just say it like this, because I like to still be vague about it. I threw an event, a very nice big event last night, and it was amazing. It was popping, it was Excelsior. And what really was great about it is that let's just say it was at a venue that I had been telling people for ages to check out. I have a long spanning history, especially with other performers, where I'll be like, oh, check out this venue with me, check out this venue with me. And they'll be like, sure, yeah, we could put on an amazing showcase there or something, blah, blah, blah. Well, let's walk there together. And then they refuse, like, they'll say that, but then they never truly actually walk there with you, which really, really bothers me. And then next thing you know, I'll have to hear like a year later, they'll be like, you were right. We should have checked out that venue because this company got a hold of it and now they have like sold out shows in a full house like every week. And it's like, yeah, nigga, it's like, because, and I'm really good at scouting places, but at the same time, let's just say, I'll rip off the band-aid. I've been involved in the comedy scene for about a year, almost 2 full years now, and I've enjoyed a lot about it. But I will say this, I was frustrated at how many times I was basically telling people, like, I wanted to have control. I wanted to have control because I was so sick of going to these open mics and these showcases where people didn't know what the fuck they were doing. And that's something I'm very known for in the scene. Like, people know me as like a professional audience member because I love going to open mics and comedy shows. I love checking them out, seeing how the venues work, seeing like all the technicalities from the production side all the way to how a comedian's timing, cadence, pacing, all that can make or break a joke and all sorts of factors to things. And I have studied it for the past 2 fucking years, which sounds insane, but I'm autistic and I'm analytical. And both those things go hand in hand to make sure that it's like, okay, pattern seeking behavior. I like to notice things, keep track of things, like just overall see what I can fucking do. And I was really, really, really I was known to be the mystery girl that shows up at an open mic and will help you do a mic check like before the show even starts because they somehow let her in early. I was the girl where it's like you would just see me everywhere and they'd be like, what? They'd be like, you're not even a comedian and we see you out every night at hella different mics. How the fuck are you doing this? And I'd be like, I just love comedy that much. And they'd be like, well, we appreciate you there because you make the whole experience so much better because they appreciate, like, open mics usually don't have people. So it's just like, and even if they do, it's just bar goers who aren't focused on your jokes. So, people, especially men, appreciate, as especially men who are comedians, who, and there's a joke in the scene about how most comedians are either autistic, divorced, depressed, alcoholics, or there's one last thing, but simply put, a lot of them struggle socially, especially with women. So it makes them feel good to know that's like, okay, there's a woman who's looking at me, sitting front row, and she's smiling at me, and even when the joke's flopping, she's still nodding so that she knows that, I mean, she can tell me, like, quietly that I'm still listening to her. And I mean that she's listening to me. And she will laugh and give attention when no one else does. And so I've built up possibly a really good reputation that way. I've had highlights in the comedy scene, I've had lowlights, but especially the highlights have been really fun. And I love them forever. Now, but as I said, I've made friends with people who were producers before. And nothing annoys me more than people who have victim mindsets. Because then it's like, okay, we get it. Like, you have low self esteem, yada, yada, yada. What's stopping you from. But still, it's like, I would tell this one guy, I'd be like, you have so many credentials under your butts. Your butt. So much credit. What's stopping you from being big in the comedy scene? And he always made excuses in general for his life and his potential. Like, he'd always be the one that to be like, people are keeping me out of rooms. They won't let me on their mics, blah, 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 blah. Just to actually get a chance to be on a mic. And then he won't take it, or he will insult everyone in the room and then complain people don't like him for no reason, or he will, like, he's just done. It's like, nigga, you don't write jokes, you don't get on stage. When you do get stage time, when you do get on stage, you literally will say, I'm the best motherfucker out here and fuck all of you, and then you mic drop and leave, and then, like, I'm just, and then you wonder why you're not taken seriously, because you don't have the bare minimum to be a comedian, and yet you're saying that you're being kept out of rooms. Really, you're keeping yourself out of them. And I remember I was fed the fuck up. I told him some shit about himself that changed his character for good, as it fucking should. I got tired of the whole, oh, have you maybe give yourself da 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 da. I was just like, nigga, you are fucking it up for yourself. And so this time around, like, let's just say he was still I can tell when he's making excuses, and I kept like he would be like, his new thing was like, I can't make shows and I can't run shows because people are keeping me, like, I can't find any new rooms. People don't want to make rooms for me. They don't want to book me. And I'd be like, hmm. Like, and then I'd specifically, I love, like, I'm always out doing nice little walks and strolls and ordering food and stuff. There's a lot of different ways to hunt for a venue. And simply put, if I just simply walk into a place and I see, like, oh, good lighting, good food, perfect place for a little mic, this could be great consistently, then you know what I fucking do? I will be like, damn, I should like jot this down and recommend it to my buddy who keeps claiming he can't find comedy. Or I'll even talk to the venue owners myself and pitch the idea. You want to know what fucking happens? He will make excuses, or he'll be like, and it just got so tiresome. And then with another guy, I'll put it like this: he like we had a shot for location scouting. We did. We had fun. We had a deal. He would buy me lunch. I would show him like at least one spot for comedy, but I decided to show him several because I thought we were going to do business together. Let's just say once he opened up one single spot hella far away from Concord, like, I mean, in Concord that I had nothing to do with, like, he just kind of gave up. It's like, nigga, I gave you a list of names for businesses. We checked out all these places. He didn't really, he probably messaged the owners like once, and even then, like, just nothing came from it. Like, you messaged the owners one single goddamn time. Like, maybe. And then even then you didn't bother to like follow up seriously about it. And I just was kind of like, or even if he did, which honestly I doubt it, because it's like, let's just say it was the first week of the new year when we did that. And then it's like July now. I'll put it this way. Eventually, I just kind of was like, you know what? I'm the one who still wants this to happen. Because I found this one venue that was really too nice. It's like they have amazing food. It's a like huge outdoors, huge indoors, heaters, pool table, friendly bar staff, like I already mentioned, good ass food. And I just thought to myself, this venue seems like it just is a powerhouse waiting to be collected. Why is no one else collecting it? But maybe sometimes opportunities don't get off the ground because they have to be started by you specifically. Kind of like Mjolnir in the Marvel Universe, where like no one else can pick up Thor's hammer except for Thor, basically. And so for me, I remember at some point I shot my shot. I was like, you know what, fuck it. It's been months, but I will at least try again. And I left like a comment or two on their page. And then they hit me up. They were like, oh, hey, did you want to do comedy? And I was like, oh, yeah, I'd love to. And then it all happened so fast, but then it's like I got the venue, I got the date, I got everything needed, and I was like, okay. I asked my buddy who's been rooting for me to be a comedian despite me being an audience member. I've for the longest time, and I told him, hey, I got a venue. You want to be the host? We got that shit locked in, and one thing led to another, and let's just say the event was last night and it went better than I could have fucking imagined. I was very worried because my reputation in the local comedy scene out here has had its highs and its lows. Very much so. Like, and also I thought to myself, what if people don't show up? But it's like, bitch, comics will show up anywhere where they can perform. Really. Like, if there's a stage, they will get on it. They love the attention, which is good. Like, and also a chance to get their name out. Try some new jokes or work at them, you know what I mean? But simply put, it was fucking. Ah, sorry, I had to pause for a second. So if the video cuts, it's an accident. But as I was saying, um, yeah, it just everything fell into place really good, and I planned out a lot. It's like we had a bunch of comics coming from like a few cities away, like that were really really popular and fun. My buddy, the host, he brought a backup speaker and backup, like, because he had a feeling something might have an error with that. And I'm glad he did, because there ended up being an error with the system speakers. But everything went really, really well. Really, really well. Gosh, where do I even start? Let's just say I put on a cute outfit. I I bought a lot of fucking candy. I bought Kit Kats and Hershey's Gold Nugs, and I went around the venue before comedy started and introduced myself to everyone there. What helped was my other autistic homegirl being there. So when I was losing my momentum, she would ramp me up again, like a little power up, like a little level up boost. And then we would go and give out candy to everybody out there and just like, talk about, hey, there's comedy soon. It's optional, no pressure. If not, just feel free to take the candy anyway because I bought too fucking much of it, and they would be happy with that. Then let's see. We started off with like a little bit of dancing. That got the energies up in the room. People felt invited and compelled to come in and join in. Let's see. Then me and me and the host started setting up tables, cut off the music, replaced it permanently so that I controlled it. We got the lights set up. They didn't have a typical spotlight, but they did have these rainbow lights that I very much fucked with. What else about it? Let's just say almost every single comedian there was a fucking hitter. There was only one person I remember who didn't get a single fucking laugh. And even then that was just when I was in the bathroom, and allegedly he said some racist shit on stage that I didn't get to see. It's like it was one of those weird things because it's like that. It was like this tall white dude. He was flirting with me and trying to like keep his attention on me. Like almost, he didn't want a second where we weren't talking. Honestly, he was really, really into me. Leading up to the comedy show, and it's just interesting to know that when he got off stage, right as I went to the bathroom, he said something like, "Hey, ladies, if you've been attracted to me before this set, I hate to do it. You're not gonna be into me after." And then, like, I went to the bathroom, and I remember I was like, it's really quiet out there. Did something happen? And I was in the bathroom for quite a long time. I did not really. It's like I heard maybe a single extremely light chuckle or two. And when I got out, I remember my buddy Joe was like, "You might want to play walk off music for this guy." Also, did you hear anything he's been saying? And like he would like, and the host afterwards, he was like, "Yeah, that guy was saying some pretty racial stuff on stage. Like he didn't say a slur, but he kind of was alluding to certain things heavily." And my other girl who was there, the autistic one, she was like, "Yeah, he was saying some fucked up shit. He definitely was alluding it." And it's like, oh, well, so it's like, okay, but you know what? That was the only conflict of the night, was that a guy embarrassed himself in a venue, and surprisingly, he did not walk the audience, which I am grateful for. God bless. What else happened? There was something else that happened. What happened? It's coming to mind. Oh, people who so like I said about the venue, I had suggested it to people before, but they didn't take it up. So when I took it up, I felt a little bad because this one guy I know, like, I think it was kind of like when I first started the mic and was deciding who would be the host or the co-host. I could have easily, I could have easily just been like, oh, well, me and, like, let's make up a name so that it's semi-anonymous. Let's say Charmer. That's a cute little nickname. So me and this comedian named Charmer, like, they were the one where it's like they bought me food. We checked out a bunch of venues. They didn't really hit up any of them afterwards. And I basically, when I got reached out to by the venue, and they were like, "Hey, guess what? We would you like to do the comedy?" I just kind of decided, okay, I would like to produce it myself, because instead of it all belonging to Charmer, and Charmer comes here, and I'm just the unappreciated girl who sometimes does the walk up music and has no control of the mic, doesn't really get any credit despite all the hard work, all of that. I thought to myself, fuck no. Also, I thought to myself, you know what? Charmer has some friends in the comedy scene who make some problematic jokes, and they get stage time, and I don't like it. I don't like that he'll let people on stage do long ass, boring ass jokes about like George Floyd getting his neck stepped on, or about like roofing girl. It's like, that's not cool with me. And then it's like, I don't want to be seen as the bad guy for being like, "Hey, can you not let in these two predators that I don't like in the comedy scene? Thank y'all." And then let's see. Let me tell you. Like, and yeah, I just simply thought to myself, I would like to have a lot more appreciation and gratitude shown my way. I think it's now my turn to shine. And then for my other buddy, I've said his name plenty of times on this channel, but let's make up one anyway. let's call him Blue Eyes. So Blue Eyes, he's the really insecure, like egotistical comedian who I've had a lot of conflict with. Ironically, they haven't defended me when I needed defending before. Like they're there for me during some moments, and other times they just completely leave me for the wolves. They won't stand up if someone's like shitting on me openly, and they won't like, we're not friends on any social media. My guess is because they don't want the reputation of being attached to me. How ironic. They act a lot more messy than I have at times. Like they actually, no, now that I think about it, they've acted 10 times more messy than I am. It's extremely funny how it's like this white dude can get on stage saying fuck everybody, I'm better than you, and then I can say I only don't like rapists, and then I get backlash. Funny how that works, and by funny I mean sickening, not funny. Haha. Niggas ain't shit. But simply put, yeah, Blue Eyes, he has a lot of issues, and I thought to myself, I've tried to give Blue Eyes plenty of venues, plenty of times, not even for any sort of payment of food or drink or whatever, just simply because I want to see him thrive. And if he doesn't want to thrive, then he can't act like a victim when I take this venue that wasn't even his because he's not trying to accept it as his. And then I also had the realization that Charmer, the comedian, for him, he could have easily, like, I'll put it this way. I talked to him a little bit, like, before the event, like once or twice, and he did have this energy where I think he felt a little bit, I wouldn't say betrayed, but there was like an undercurrent there when we talked, where I suppose it was probably just something along the lines of, oh, why didn't she reach out to me and let me know that she was running this event? Why wasn't I told of this? And maybe a dash of like, why didn't she throw my name into the ring to be like the producer of the show? Why is she taking it for herself? Didn't I buy her a sandwich? I'll put it this way. Several people have had to tell me, like, yeah, it would have been nice, but you didn't have to. And on top of that, he could have easily done the footwork himself, and he didn't. Because it's like from the span of 6 months, he didn't do anything else to secure that venue. He did not. He gave up on it. I didn't. I'm the one who tried. And on top of that, I even had an epiphany, like, within this passing week. I was like, actually, yeah. Didn't I give that nigga seven other venues to check out? He hasn't been doing shit with those either. He could really, yeah, actually. And so I kind of just gave up on feeling guilt about it. I was like, you know what, this is my event. He can support it or not. Also, I'm going to say something. Me and Charmer went to plenty of events together, and I'll put it like this. Charmer, let's just say if you're grinding against me at events and making creepy eye contact as you're telling me your type is black women, and like you're just like doing all this creepy shit, imagine how shocked I will feel when I go to your event, like one of the many events that you're throwing in your far away area. And then I find out that you have an Asian girlfriend of 3 years. So it's like, I guess we all have our fucking secrets, buddy. It's like, what the fuck? I like that really, I was so disgusted with him. I was like, really? You're that type? Mm. Anyway, but yeah, simply, but that was also the same venue where his friend made the George Floyd jokes that kept going on, and shit just got too morbid and fucked up for me. And this passing week, I've also just been in situations where, like, I stumbled. I got very tipsy as I was passing out posters in public and stuff to get rid of the anxiety. I'm still working on trying to work up the nerve to make eye contact and give people flyers. Because it's like, if you're a hot lady in public who seems social and friendly, like, you can just smile at a nigga and be like, hey, you want a flyer? No pressure. You could also say no and try your luck that way. But simply put, my autism and exhaustion levels, it was just like, I'm going to just look cute and put them up publicly, and people who will be like, oh, cute girl, what did she just hang up, will approach naturally. So that works out for me. But let's put it this way. As I was putting out flyers, I stumbled upon this one event. I mean, this one bookstore where I got the book, The Rape of Nanking, which I still have to read soon. Uh, and so me and him, the owner of that bookstore, we were talking about like all the shit going on in the world, and about how I've consumed fucked up media mainly so I can be aware of the world I live in, because naivety will get you killed or hurt or worse, and it's not good to be naive. And we need to learn where to nip things in the bud to stop them from progressing further. You know what I mean? And so we were talking and talking, and like we talked about things like sexism and racism and misogyny and all these things. And he was like, it's important to, like, he even mentioned it's like, for your mic, hey, you could maybe do some stuff in collaboration with us, because like, and with you as the producer, you have the right to control what goes down and what doesn't in your venue, so you can have full control and capacity, and like open perspectives on things never thought before. And I was like, that is a really good point. That's a very good point. And I thought to myself, yeah, so I don't know if I can let that, like, one dude was like, oh my god, you booked this venue? I go there all the time for their food. Oh, I'll show up. But then I thought to myself, do I really want that guy there? Like, do I want to have a space where like, he's one of those guys where he seems cool in the, like, if you saw him at a barbecue or a cookout, he'd be friendly sort of way. But in like, he gave the energy of like that fucked up friend you have from middle school who now is all grown up, and now he like cooks amazing food and posts pictures on the internet, or will occasionally make a fucked up joke about his girlfriend or his wife or whatever. But then deep down, you know that you can't invite him to certain places because he's gonna say some shit that gets everybody kicked out. And it's like, yeah, that's not the best. But like, yeah, so I just thought to myself, I have to keep reminding myself, I'm the producer of this show. I can control what goes on and what doesn't. I don't have to let people who make me feel unsafe or make me sit through extremely uncomfortable, disgusting things just to be liked. No, I'm okay with them staying out, and I'm okay with only accepting people who are good and safe. And mind you, it's like I had to post online. I was like, if you want to make rape jokes on the stage, don't. I'm not saying be Disney. I'm just saying don't make, like, try not to go NC-17 with it if you can, because it's our first night. And I noticed that guy didn't show up at all, which is like, okay, nigga, it's like you're the one making the fucked up jokes about like police brutality and rape. Good riddance. We're better off without you. And sorry, I'm very hungover. Holy shit. I had so much. I had tequila. I had bourbon. Or was it whiskey? I had White Claw, I had vodka, and then I had way too much goddamn Red Bull. So I have not gotten my ass up off this floor, like, at all. It's been almost 12 hours. I gotta get some food in me. I'll say it like this, though, to speed this video along. I was very nervous that Charmer and Blue Eyes would be offended that it's like, oh, she didn't tell us she was running this event. Why do we have to hear out from like online versus like direct invitation? Or like, oh, that's the venue that she tried to get for me. How dare she? Blah blah blah. I'm glad that didn't happen. Instead, they both showed up and they were both they performed extremely well. Or at least one of them. Yeah, Charmer did very well. Blue Eyes, he had his moments. He had his, yeah. He actually, no, he got some pretty good laughs. Good job, Blue Eyes. Um, it was a full house of people, audience members and comedians alike, especially audience members, which really, really made the comedians happy. The comedians were on their A game. Like, they said some fucking hysterical shit. Ooh, it was amazing. God bless. Let's see. Let's see. Who else is there? I had a very cute outfit. Got to have a lot of fun. Oh my god. Comedy was great. I had really good luck with my music. Like, I don't pay for YouTube Premium, but for some reason, just by divine luck, and I'm very grateful to whatever higher power helped me out. Thank you so much. No ads were playing, and that's usually a problem with any other open mic I've done music for, like as their DJ for their walk up music and the stingers. Like, no ads. So I was able to perfectly nail every single person's song, like, off the bat. Like, for the walk on music, their walk off music, I helped get the crowd hype. Um, I had a bunch of candy out. Comedians kept coming up to me and being like, well, thank you so much for booking this venue. This is really impressive. This is really cool. Thank you for doing this. Or like niggas fully bowing to me on stage like I'm fucking Owen Ishii on some shout out to Tam for running this event. This is fucking great. Like, Blue Eyes showed up. I didn't expect him to show up at all, but when he did, he was like, hey, this is fucking killer. Like, good job with this room. This is amazing. And he was like astounded at how good it was. Like, everyone there was just super happy. We even got lucky. I guess Charmer brought this guy who has extremely high quality film equipment, and the guy was kind of strange because he didn't introduce himself properly. He didn't, like, if he probably should have been like, hey, I wanted to record the comedy here. Is that okay? Because not every comedian's okay with that. But it's like, okay, you know what? That works for us though, because Sorry, I'm a bit hungover. I wish I could physically set the scene. Let's just say it like this: the golden hour sun reflecting through the windows. Huge fucking venue, tons of seats, and every single seat is filled with either like the bar, the like everyone. Every comedian who went up was a fucking killer. Like they made the whole room cackle, and like even anytime I laughed, the audience laughed too. I felt like powerful. I felt amazing. Walk-up music, perfect. We didn't have a typical spotlight, but the shitty little rainbow lights that they had that plugged in at the top of the ceiling, those did add a very nice colorful ambiance and did make comics look really fucking good. Let's see. There also was who else was it? Who else was it? There was someone else I was thinking about. Who was it? Let me think on it for a bit. Yeah, every like you just should have been there. The whole room just had this great energy, and I was beaming. And my buddy Sean, he actually came and he got me a bundle of flowers, of roses. Wait, not roses. They were kind of just random flowers that he picked on his way here. uh, they a lot of them have died because they sadly got crushed, but it's okay. I appreciate the thought. They smelled amazing. A bunch of honeysuckle, lavender, and random ass, exotic flowers from people's gardens. You know what? I fuck with it. Thank you, Sean. I was huffing that shit happy as hell, eating chocolates with my autistic homegirl sitting front row laughing our asses off. And it was such a lovely time. Everyone did amazing. The host, amazing. My homegirl, amazing. Me, it's so funny how I'm trying to give. It's like, I don't know why I'm not giving myself credit. I brought candy and made people smile. I made people feel welcomed. I made them feel loved, listened, heard. I made what could have just been a simple open mic into an occasion where people felt triumphant getting up and exhilarated getting off stage. And everyone was going wild. And it was such a great energy that tons of people stuck around just to keep talking and socializing. Tons of people came up to me afterwards, individually, to thank me for running the event, getting it started. Thanked me for my cool outfit, for the candy, for the music, for just everything. And they were like, "I'm definitely coming back next week if you do this again." I try. I do this thing where like sometimes I'll get compliments, and there's a wall in my brain, so they don't fully absorb. Cause I guess it's like I think in my brain, I if I'm sensitive to compliments, I'm easily controlled. Plus, I like to be humble. Plus, like I'm also sensitive to insults. Or am I? Not exactly. It depends on the person. But I like to just put myself in a state of just like I appreciate that you said that and I'm grateful, but not too grateful. Like I'm not trying to suck my own dick in front of you. Um, but I'm just trying to let it absorb. It's like because a part of me is like, wow, if I didn't choose if I chose, I'm so glad that I chose my buddy at like who wasn't. I'm so glad I didn't go for Blue Eyes. I didn't go for Charmer. I went for the host that I chose, and I laid down the law. I was like, I don't want these two dudes invited because they're creepy, and you know the history with them. I specifically and I laid the ground rules. He followed suit, and he was polite and like I'll put it this way: he's a respectful man who also over prepared because when the speakers didn't work, thankfully he already had a speaker and microphone that he brought with him. Thank God. And I'm so glad I chose him because if I chose anyone else, I don't think the event would have been as good as it did. He has a nice, wholesome, warm energy that is very much appreciated. He's the nice balance of wholesome and raunchy that people love, you know, like Larry the truck driver meets Santa Claus. I love it. And Larry the cable guy. I mean, he was like, he's just great, dude. And we had a really awesome time. And everyone was in such an ecstatic mood after that we just went out to the city just to like grab drinks and party. And I went out to this saloon and they were playing really good country style music and I got fucked up off drinks and I was so ecstatic over the evening and also wasted as fuck that I danced my ass off. I danced so hard that the whole band was smiling ear to ear watching me, and I accidentally, when it was just a bunch of people bobbing their head passively, I got on that dance floor and started cutting a rug so intensely with like belly dance moves, random ass. I'm Millie rocking to country music, Millie walking to cowboy music, and just like jamming hella hard. going crazy that tons of other people joined the audience, and when the girls would get nervous thinking, ah shit, I shouldn't dance, she's out dancing me, I would show them, just sway your arms like this, girl, you got this, and they were all happy, and then it was like a huge dance floor of people going crazy. I love it so much. I hope everyone knows I'm so grateful. God bless. Oh my goodness. That was such a fun time. I'm very happy. I have to remind myself and give myself credit, because believe it or not, despite me loving myself, I love myself so much. I do. I do. I'm still a very humble person, because, I like to remind myself that it's like if my autistic homegirl weren't there to help warm up all the other people, then she also was effective in getting people to be corralled inside and have fun and join in on the comedy. And she was a great energy, a great presence. She was the first to go up, and I'll put it this way: this is a she's not the funniest, and she knows that. She even told us last night she knows she's not the funniest, but she has such a sweet, endearing energy that she warmed up and softened the hearts of everyone in the room, and that was really nice. And I'm just so I'm so unbelievably grateful. I almost want to cry. And this is important because it's like I made a room. I made a room that was a third space for fun, for comics to tell jokes and get the thrill of the audience, for audiences to get the thrill of comedians. The bar owner was so fucking happy that immediately after we ended, he called me and the host over, and he was just losing his mind over how good of a time he had. And he showed his schedule, and he was like, yes, we are free every single day you want. We are free. We can do this every single week. I love it. I love stand up. I love this. We need more of this. Absolutely. And he's a big fan of theater and the performing arts. So he was like the adrenaline is so unmatched and uncanny. God bless. It was so fucking good. I'm so happy. I was so worried at some point. I was like, please tell me it's not gonna be shitty no speakers working and no audience. And but everything worked. It worked. He I was worried there weren't going to be comedians. There was a huge fucking turnout. The list got damn near filled up. It was amazing. I'm so happy that I feel like passing out just from the pure euphoric bliss being given to me. And I swear to God, I swear to any higher power, I love you so much. Thank you for the blessings. And I really hope that my gratitude is being shown well. I'm so unbelievably grateful. And I guess it makes me feel extra good because, even after it's ended, people are still posting online, hey, we went to this venue. Shout out to the people who, shout out to Tam. Shout out to this. Shout out to that. Thank her for putting it together. And then because of that, my reputation has, skyrocketed because not everyone has a good night for their first night at an open mic. Rarely do people. But this night, huge turnout of comics and audience. Huge. Everything went excelsior. And now I have tons of people who have ignored me for years, even. Or, suddenly replying to me and being like, I'm gonna come next week, thank you so much, and liking all of my posts online. And so, everything just clicked into place. And I'm so happy and I'm unbelievably grateful. Anyway, your girl has to go eat some food now, but thank you for listening. Oh, let's see what food can cure a hangover this bad. But I'm so happy. And I hope that everyone knows how grateful I am. From the higher powers to the audience to the venue owner, all that. I hope that I am savoring the way the owner smiled so huge. I hope I am savoring the way the host had the biggest smile on his face and was so ecstatic he was buying rounds for everybody all night. I hope the way that my artistic homegirl smiled so big after what was a really hard week for her, and how she was screaming and jumping around for joy and purely ecstatic. I was in such a good mood that it didn't matter what happened. If a drink spilled on me, if I got headbutted accidentally by my autistic homegirl several times, and I didn't care. I reacted like bonk, ouch. I'm so happy. Also, it helped that at the end of the event, as I was giving out free candy to people again, just as like little, hey, well, I'm gonna eat it if you don't. A guy did come up to me and he said, yeah, someone told me that like my buddy, he's my housemate. He came by and said a pretty girl came by and she offered me candy and I didn't take it because I thought it was a trap. Now I feel bad. So it's like everything clicked into place. Killer outfit, killer turnout, everything. I'm so grateful and I hope my gratitude shines through. Have a blessed night. Alright, well, your girl has to go eat food and or take a nap, but thank you for listening. Look at me, I'm a producer now. I have officially turned my reputation around from casual audience member and slightly psychotic chick to professional comedy producer who can guarantee fill a room, has all the right connections, and really knows how to make a show shine and make a comedian feel welcomed and loved. If I cry, it's not out of sadness. It's out of pure joy of seeing the way that these people smiled and blushed at me. And how grateful I am. It's moments like these that make you happy that you didn't kill yourself and you're off of 10 milligrams of Adderall. God bless. I'm so grateful. Let's keep these good times filled. Goodbye. I'm so happy.